Hey everyone, it is Thursday, and that means that I'm on Twitter answering your questions with the hashtag KatieFAQ. And I am doing 6 questions today, and I have a journal topic at the end, so stay tuned if you want that. And without further ado, here I go. So number 1, the question that was asked is, what exactly do you put in a recovery journal? And I get this question a lot, I think mostly because a lot of therapists don't do these like I do and don't spend the time telling you what to put in them. And to be truthful, you can put whatever you like. I have a video on my channel under, I don't know if it's kind words from others or motivational words from others, but there's a girl who follows me who posted a video about her recovery journal. So if you want to actually visually see one, that is a great example. And the things that I have my clients put into them are successes that they've had in their recovery. Like I distracted from my self-harm voice for 30 minutes today and I felt really good about it. Or I finally talked to my friend about the things she's been doing that are really hurtful, or any small success of any kind. Remember, we want to celebrate each small success so that the motivation to keep going is there. Also, pretty pictures, poems you might write, any kind of collages you want to make, motivational quotes, or anything you could ever want to put in there. Put in there. It's your piece of art / piece of history. You're kind of creating something, mapping out your process. So I hope that helps. Question number 2. Is there anything I can do to make myself want to stop self-harming? Now, this is something that's really difficult, and I deal with this a lot in my own practice. And to be truthful, I will have my clients, and this will actually kind of, spoiler alert, be in part of the self-harm workbook that I'm putting together right now, because this part's already finished, and I'm kind of trying to wrap it up and film the videos and stuff like that. But in part of my self-harm workbook, I talk about this, and I talk about spending time trying to figure out what purpose it serves for you. So are you self-harming because you want to feel the pain, or you want to feel something? Do you do it for the blood or the scars? Do you do it to physically feel the pain that you're suffering from emotionally? What is it? And if you can spend a little time thinking about it from that perspective versus thinking I should want to stop and I don't want to stop, once we know what purpose it's serving, we can try to replace that with something else or a bunch of other things potentially that are healthy. And then that urge won't be there anymore. It's not so much that we have to want to stop, it's more that we understand why we're doing it, and that we don't have to do it anymore because we can do these other things. Does that make sense? And for any of you who have overcome it and can share your tips about that, that would be really helpful. So please leave that in the comments below. Question number 3. Do you ever have a client... Do you ever have clients get angry with you in session even when you haven't done anything to deserve that? I do it with my therapist all the time and I feel really bad. Yes, all the time. All the time. And it's more... Really, this happens because we're working on deep things we haven't talked about before, and they might even be those icky, embarrassing things we don't really like to talk about. So it makes it really hard. And so a lot of patients will just get frustrated with everything, and because I'm there, I'm the outlet for that, and that's fine. I totally get it. We don't take it personal. We understand. If you're worried, you could even bring it up with your therapist and just say, I find myself getting angry in session when you haven't even done anything, and I'm really sorry, and just be honest, and you can have that talk about it. But it's very common. Don't think that we take it personally. We know it's just because you're going through a lot and we're working through that really difficult stuff. Okie dokie. Number 4. What are the benefits of group therapy versus individual therapy, especially when dealing with sexual abuse? Well, the benefits, with being specific to sexual abuse, groups can be great. And I guess actually it doesn't even matter what we're being specific about, because the main reason that groups are a great addition to individual... I am having trouble talking today. It's because I didn't have coffee. It's so hot out, I've been drinking water, not drinking coffee to help my body. And so I'm like slow. But... group therapy is great, and it should be an addition to individual therapy, not to replace individual therapy, because there's going to be things that you're going to need to work on in a one-on-one basis, and being in a group doesn't really help with that, and it's not a great place for that. So group therapy is great because you get to hear other people's stories and know that you're not alone, and gain wisdom through their experiences, and gain tools and tricks, just like we're with this community, how we're sharing what works for one another. We can do the same in group. And that's really, to me, the most powerful thing in group is that we can actually learn from everyone versus just ourselves and just our therapist. But not to replace our individual therapy, because we may find things out in group that really need to be worked on in individual therapy. Okay? Number 5, why are my cuts never enough? If they're bad enough in the eyes of my self-harm voice, will I then be able to stop? No, that isn't going to work. Our just self-harm voice and our eating disorder voice, one thing I can tell you with 100% certainty is no matter what we do, it's never going to be enough. Never. Never, 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 never. Trust me. I've seen a ton of people, and the main reason that your cuts are never enough is because that nasty, negative self-harm voice is ruling your world right now. And I would encourage you to, which will also be in my self-harm workbook, spoiler alert, because you guys know this would have been in there, but we're going to do that talking back to that self-harm voice. And I'm going to give some examples in the workbook so that you can start talking back to the negative with the positive. For example, when it says, you're stupid, your cuts aren't even good enough, you're not even good at self-harming, whatever it might say. You can say, this isn't something that I like doing. This is something that I'm doing right now because I don't have another way to cope. And you're wrong. I'm good at a lot of other things and things that are actually important and helpful to me. That's just an example. Okay, now, number 6, my final question. What's the difference between selective mutism and social anxiety, and how do we overcome them? Okay, well, selective mutism is when we, even though we're actually able to speak physically, we stop. And children will sometimes do this after they've been traumatized, or sometimes if they've lost a loved one, and that, I guess it's just a trauma. Usually it's a trauma that causes it, and we'll just stop speaking. Social anxiety, or what's called in the DSM social phobia. If you watch my video I put out about anxiety disorders, I speak in there about social phobia, and I talk about how it's really the fear of us being in situations where we can't remove ourselves without being embarrassed, or we'll have kind of like performance anxiety. And that's what social phobia is. And so we'll avoid certain situations or behaviors so that we don't have those feelings. Now, so that's the difference. How do we overcome them? The best thing you can do for yourself is to get into therapy, and preferably someone who utilizes CBT or works with anxiety patients a lot, and that's one of their specialties. That would be the best thing. And you can even hop on Amazon and search for a CBT workbook and kind of get to work on your own. And I'll talk about CBT more in future videos. I know you guys have requested that, and I'll definitely do that. Now, for your journal topic of the day, drum roll. I really like this quote. It was in my agenda, those like actual paper-bound ways you keep your life together. I found this quote in there and I thought it was really great. It says, "Life is change. Growth is optional. Choose wisely." And I thought it just really made me think about it because everything always changes and we don't have control over other people or situations all the time. And so my question is, what's something that's changing in your life right now? Is it that school started, or you moved away and you're at a new school? Do you just start college? Do you have a new boyfriend? Do you just break up with a boyfriend? What's going on in your life? What's changing? Things are always changing. And what can we do ourselves right now to help us grow through it versus feeling like it's knocked us down and it's changing and we're not prepared? So yeah, take some time and journal about that. Journal about what's going on and what's changing, and then steps we can take to show that we're working to grow through it. So an example, I guess, if any of you are having trouble, would be something like, I just broke up with my boyfriend, and so that's a change, and I've been feeling really down. I've wanted to stay inside, and you can journal about all of that. And the way that I'm going to grow through it is this week I'm going to reach out to my friends, and I'm going to go out one night, and then tomorrow night I'm going to give myself a spa day. I'm going to do my toes and my fingers, and I'm going to take care of myself. So that would be an example. Hope you all have a wonderful Thursday evening. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be on Facebook because it's Finally Friday. So have a wonderful night. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.